The Japanese morning rituals that defeat laziness and transform your life. Why do some people open their eyes at dawn and immediately feel full of strength, becoming masters of a new day, while others sink back into exhaustion like a swamp despite promising themselves to change? What if Japanese monks, samurai, and wise elders had known for centuries the secret that breaks the cycle of laziness and doubt forever? Today you will discover 4 simple morning rules from the school of Shugyodo, an ancient system capable of bringing discipline and energy into your life. What changes in the brain at sunrise? How can you defeat fatigue before the first coffee? Why is the morning the most important moment for the true strength of the mind and body? The greatest minds of the East believed dawn was not simply a time of day, but a point where destiny resets itself. When we open our eyes in the silence of the morning, the world seems to pause. There are no foreign voices, no pressure of obligations, not even the usual noise of thoughts, only silence. Zen masters called this the silence of the inner universe, when even the wildest river of life becomes calm for a moment. Modern psychology confirms that the first hour after waking determines our inner state for the entire day. Studies show that people who wake up at dawn feel more energetic, more decisive, and less vulnerable to laziness and apathy. The reason is simple. In the early hours, the mind is free from chaos and able to make real decisions instead of automatic reactions. Eastern teachers said the power of dawn is not in the amount of light, but in the quality of silence. Anyone who has watched a sunrise knows the atmosphere changes completely. Even the air feels different. Old monks observed that before 7 in the morning new ideas appear more easily and difficult problems suddenly find simple solutions. Poets, generals, and scientists often began their work at sunrise for this reason. At this hour the body naturally raises cortisol levels, giving energy in a calm and clean way, unlike the sharp stimulation of coffee or endless news feeds. One principle of Shugyodo is to never allow chaos to seize your mind in the morning. Laziness is not simply a lack of willpower. It awakens when our first moments are flooded with anxiety, urgent tasks, and meaningless information. Eastern philosophers warn that anyone who does not meet the morning consciously will spend the whole day at the mercy of random winds. Learning to rise early means gaining not only more time, but a completely new quality of beginning. The first movement of your body after waking can either fill the entire day with momentum or leave you trapped in heaviness. Japanese samurai believe the day begins with the first step, and that step shapes destiny. Ancient warriors never allowed themselves to stay in bed after waking because modern psychology confirms that standing up immediately after the alarm sends the brain a message that we are in control. In one study, volunteers who rose at the first alarm for a month experienced reduced anxiety and less chronic fatigue. The body remembered it was ready for action. But when you delay waking for 5 or 10 minutes, the opposite habit forms. The brain learns retreat. Many people say that when they stay in bed too long they feel sluggish all day, as if something inside never truly awakened. That is why the first morning movement, even something as simple as standing up or stretching, becomes symbolic. Eastern monks taught that even the smallest movement should be done with dignity. Miyamoto Musashi wrote that the strongest path exists in every simple action and that one should never remain trapped between sleep and wakefulness. The secret is simple. Once the body moves, the mind follows. One correct action in the morning becomes an investment into every victory of the day. Another paradoxical secret of Eastern practice is slow awareness. In a world where mornings are associated with rushing, noise, and speed, Shugyodo teaches something different. Instead of jumping from bed and rushing into obligations, It teaches people to pause and observe themselves as if for the first time. Science confirms that when we spend a few minutes calmly observing the body, the mind shifts into a new state. Zen monks practiced this for centuries. They sat quietly and noticed the cold floor beneath their feet, the changing rhythm of breath, and the first desire to stand and act. Teachers said procrastination loses its power in this moment. One man trapped in routine began each morning simply observing himself without judgment. After a few weeks, new ideas appeared, and even his friends noticed he saw the world differently. Psychologists explain this by saying that spending time alone without distractions activates creative regions of the brain. You leave the cycle of repetitive thoughts and begin to see the day with fresh eyes. Chuang Tzu said true action is born in invisible stillness. A short pause of awareness in the morning can awaken creativity instead of laziness. Conscious breathing is another hidden weapon of the morning. According to legend, martial arts masters could win battles simply by controlling their breathing. Science now confirms that morning breathing activates chemical processes in the brain faster than caffeine. Zen monks taught people to breathe as if every breath were the last gift of life. 5 or 7 conscious breaths can reduce anxiety and lower cortisol levels that otherwise turn the mind into a swamp of fatigue. The technique is simple. Sit upright, close your eyes if you wish, inhale slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Repeat this 3 times. Many people admit that their real mornings began with this small ritual. Research shows that only a few minutes of breathing practice after waking help the brain shift from sleep into creativity. Memory improves and the fog of fatigue disappears. Ancient monks always began with breathing before any task. The wise teacher Sunzi said that the one who knows how to breathe knows how to see what is hidden. Planning the day is another ritual that unites Chinese generals, Japanese monks, and modern businessmen. Victory is born before the battle begins. As soon as we wake up, we are attacked by endless tasks and worries. Without direction, the day dissolves into chaos. Samurai often wrote down their most important intentions before sunrise because psychologists now confirm that a few minutes of meaningful planning create more freedom and calm than acting impulsively. Writing tasks on paper helps the brain release anxiety and enter a state of action. Shugyodo teaches simplicity. You do not need to schedule every minute. Choose 2 or 3 important tasks that move you closer to your purpose. Everything else is secondary. The Zen master Takuan Soho said that excess noise in the mind is like muddy water, and a true warrior clears the mind with a clear goal. Cleanliness was also treated as philosophy in the East. Japanese monks swept floors before meditation not for order itself, but to prepare consciousness. Dust on the floor reflected dust in the mind. Psychologists explain that visual chaos increases anxiety and lowers motivation. Many people notice that simply cleaning a desk helps them understand what to do next. Samurai practiced morning washing rituals and cleaned their armor because every act of order reminded them they were acting instead of drifting through life. One man defeated years of procrastination with a simple routine. He woke up, made his bed, washed his face, and opened the window for fresh air. After 1 month, his inner state changed completely. Neuroscientists explain that routine cleanliness strengthens willpower and creates habits of action. Eastern wisdom says that if you cannot clean your own room, you cannot expect harmony in your entire life. Even breakfast was treated differently in Japanese monasteries. Simple rice, vegetables, and warm tea were enough because food was seen as fuel, not entertainment. Eastern teachers believe the simpler the breakfast, the more strength it gives. Modern doctors confirm that heavy and sugary breakfasts often create fatigue and mental fog. A lighter first meal makes the mind clearer and the body more active. Samurai such as Miyamoto Musashi were said to prefer water in the morning to remain ready for anything the day might bring. Zen Buddhists taught that when you eat, simply eat. When you wash the bowl, simply wash the bowl. This simplicity breaks the cycle of rush, laziness, and dissatisfaction. Finally, samurai believed that kind words and intentions were invisible weapons of the morning. The first thoughts of the day shape the entire day itself. Scientists now confirm that morning intentions literally reprogram the brain and activate new neural connections. If your morning begins with dark thoughts, everything falls apart more easily. But if you consciously tell yourself that today you will remain calm and act with dignity, difficult tasks become lighter. Eastern traditions encouraged people to whisper their intention in the morning, even into water during washing rituals. Miyamoto Musashi wrote that true victory begins with victory over inner weakness. A simple phrase such as "today I choose to act with dignity" can transform the entire direction of a day. Eastern wisdom teaches that anyone, no matter how tired or lazy, can change. Rise earlier and you defeat half of your fears. The secret is not only the hour you wake up, but your relationship with the new day. Shugyodo teaches that when you follow these simple morning rules, laziness loses its power over you and morning becomes not a habit, but an art. Even at 40, 60, or 80 years old, it is never too late to make the dawn your ally. True strength does not come from force alone, but from the simplicity of the right rituals.